Hello game devs. In this video I'm going to show you how to get your character to jump over walls with GDevelop. So this is GDevelop 5, the new game engine, and this is how the tutorial is going to end up looking like. So let me run this just so that you have a look at it. Okay, so this is our little game. We're going to get our character to jump over the wall right here. You can go back also and then jump over it. So this is how we're going to get our character to be jumping over the wall. Okay, so let me close this. And I'm going to take you through it step by step and then get everything done. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to get rid of the events right here that I used for creating it. Let me get rid of these. Okay, so I'm going to start from scratch. So I want to also get rid of the objects right here too. So I'm deleting this. I'll delete this also. This should also go away. Okay, so this is also going to go away. Okay, so I'm going to leave the blue background over here, which you can change by getting to that of scene properties right here, and then picking up a background color. So from here, you can change the color of your background to any color you want. We're going to use light blue, and then go for OK. So now I'm going to add up my objects. I'll go for that of add a new object, and then as usual, I'm going to add the animation. So I'm going to add up a few clouds. Should get that somewhere below here. Should be around, I think it's this. Okay, so it's not here. I'm going to change, go for a different location now. Desktop, I should find that right here. Oh, here. Okay, I'm going to pick up these three cloud sprites and then I'll add them up. I'm going to set the loop and change the timer to 1 and go for apply. I'll drag this onto the screen. Then I want to position it properly, so let me use this to get it done. I'll reduce the size a little bit. So this should be 100 in width and 100 in height. Okay. Now I'll place this properly. So I'm going to duplicate this and form something simple. So this looks exactly like what we saw before for the clouds. Now I'm going to add up the platforms very quickly. Oh, that should be found in my downloads right here. I downloaded that from CraftPix. So you can get your game assets from CraftPix. They have some of the best. But I think for the prices, if you're going to purchase, it's a little bit costly compared to when you're just getting it for free. I mean, of course, for free, you don't have to pay anything. So I'll pick up this. I'm going to use that for the tiles. These two over here, the squares. Then open. Okay. So now I have my platform. I'll click on apply right here. So I'm going to drag this and place them right underneath the clouds. I'm going to resize this. I want them to be longer horizontally, so I'll increase the width to 100 and the height I'll set it to something of like 50. Okay, this is okay. Let me set it again. 70. Let me increase the height to 120. No, that's not enough. 130. This is for the width, sorry, not the height. And the height to 60. So this should do. I'm going to duplicate this. And I'll duplicate the three of them. Okay, place this properly right here. Okay, so now we want to make sure that the y-axis of each of these platforms are actually the same. So right here is 536, 536, 535. So I'm going to increase this a little bit to 6. This is 4, so I'll increase this to 6. We are doing this to prevent the player from getting stuck when it's moving. So this is going to be 6 and this is also going to be 6. Okay. Okay, so now this is well aligned right here. I'm going to add up a player hitbox. So I'll go ahead and add up a player hitbox. I'm going to locate the player hitbox. Documents, it should be in one of the projects. I'm going to pick it up from project 36. And then that's it. I'll add that up. So I'm going to get to behaviors and give it a behavior. So this is going to be a platform character. What I'm going to do is the coordinates, round coordinates, I'm going to check that off. And from here directly, you can set the jump. Since you are looking at player jump, you want to set the jump over here. It's 600, which is okay, but sometimes it can be too high or too low, so you can control the jump from here. I'm going to leave it at this constant and go for apply. So right here, I'm just going to drag this onto the screen. Okay, so now we have our player hitbox placed. I'm going to add up some behaviors for that of the platform. So edit object. I want to loop this and set it to a 1. And then behaviors right here, I'm going to add a behavior to the object. And the behavior is going to be that of a platform. So this makes it something that you can stand on. You can uncheck this since you're not going to grab it. Click on apply. So with this, I'm going to add up the last object, which is the player itself. So for the plus symbol, get to sprite. Then I'm going to add an animation. So right here, I'm going to go for add. So I'm going to locate the player. I'm going to be using a zombie sprite. So I think that is accessible to everyone. From Kenny Assets, you can get the zombie sprite. Let me see where I place that. Okay, so that should be located somewhere around my desktop. So I'm going to get into my desktop right here. Here, the sprite should be found in Kenny Tunes. So that's a zombie. I'm going to add the first sprite. So I'll go for that of the idle sprite. I'm going to add that. It is going to be the first. Then I'm going to add up the next, which is the animation sprite. So I'll add here. So you can see the walk sprite, no animation. You can see the walk right here. I'm going to select 4 of them. So for the walk, the first walk 1, walk 2, and that of 3. Then I'll add that up. Go for OK. So now I have that added. I'm going to check the loop. Then I don't want it to be working too fast, so I'm going to reduce this to 0.9. I think that should be okay. You can set the timer as you would like though. I'm going to add up the jump animation, which is used for jumping. Oh, I clicked that off. Let me get back. Oh, what just happened? Whoa, I clicked everything off. Let me add up everything back again. So first, let's see, idle. Second, there's a walk animation. 1, 2, 3, and that of the fourth one. I'll add that up. And then I'm going to add the last one. Add animation. I'll get this to be added. So add. And then I'm going to add that of the jump animation. So jump should be right here. Okay. So that's a jump animation. Let me set the timer of this to 9 and then go ahead and click on apply. So I'm going to drag this onto the screen. Right here, you can tell it's very huge as compared to the hitbox. So I'm going to change this hitbox and then make sure it's the same size or a little bit of the same size. So set this to 50 in terms of width. The height, I'm going to increase it up 100. I think the width is still small, so I'm going to increase that also. Drag this. Let's see if it fits. Okay, I think this should be okay. It's not too big, neither is it too small. So I'm putting this on it. Okay. So with this, I'm going to add up a behavior for that of the player. So edit object, behaviors, add a behavior to the object. And here you want to check out the default controls. I'm going to check this out also. Click on apply. So now you have something that is not controllable. I mean, you can't control it with your keys. So with this, let's get into the event section. So right here, I'm going to click on add new empty event, and the first thing you're going to add up is the camera. So I'm going to go for camera. Then right here, I'll go for center the camera on an object, but I'm not going to pick up any objects. So I'll go for OK. And then I'm going to add up another camera. So this, what I'm doing right here is I want the camera to be moving. So it seems like it's changing after the player, kind of like when you're playing an endless runner kind of game. So let me add that up. So X position, I'm going to choose an operator, add the value, I'll set it to 1, and I'll go for OK. So now I can go ahead and add some more events. Okay, so the first is going to be for that of the player movement. So add condition. I'm going to drag downwards. Let's see player platform behavior. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Keyboard, I'm looking for the keyboard. Okay, so this is it. So key press, I'm going to set it to that of left. So my first key is going to be that of the left key. Okay, I'll do the same thing for this, but this time around is going to be the right key. So right here, key pressed, this is going to be the right key. So right, and then okay. So I have the left key and the right keys pressed. Now I want to get them moving. So I'll add an action, and then I want to simulate some movement. So getting to platform behavior, from controls, you can simulate a few things over here. So simulate left key is pressed, and I'm going to set that to the player hitbox. I didn't name that, so it's new object 3, and then I'll go for OK. So it's going to get this to move. I'm going to do the same thing for right keys pressed. So I'll add action and get to that of platform behavior. Controls right here. I'm going to simulate key press. So this is going to be simulate right key press for that of the player hitbox. Okay. So now we have the simulations for each of this. I want to add up a few animations. So when the left key is pressed, we want to check if the animation, the right animation is being played. So I'll go ahead and go for that of add condition. Then I'm going to add up the animation based on the movement. I'm going to add up the animation based on the platform behavior. So I'm going to check, first of all, we're going to check if the player is on floor. We're going to be using the player hitbox. So you want to check the player is on floor. And then the second, you want to check if the player is moving. So we're going to get into platform behavior and check if the player is moving. Okay, so right here, you have that. Okay, so player is on floor and the player is moving. So this is going to check if both conditions are actually met. Now, if this is working, we want the player to change animation. So I'm going to add action. Then we're going to change up the animation. Let me see here. You can find the animation in common actions for all objects. Right here, there should be. Okay. Let me just type up the animation. I think I'm a little bit lost. Okay, so change the animation right here. We want to change the animation for the object 4, which is the player itself. And then I'm going to set that to 1 because that is the animation for movement. So with this, you're going to go to the next condition and add up a few things. This time around, you're going to check if it's not moving, it's idle. So add condition. We're going to platform behavior. It's on floor. We're going to use the player hitbox. Add condition. Get to, where is it? Yeah, platform behavior. And then it's moving. We're going to go for player hitbox. We're going to check invert condition and go for OK. So right here, we are checking if it's on the floor and it's not moving. So if that is the case, then we want the animation to be an idle animation. So the player is going to be idle. We're going to go for that of the animation. So right underneath sprite, we'll go for the player itself and then set it to an idle pose, which is 0. Okay, so now we have this for it. And then we're going to add up another condition. This time around, we are going to use it to check for that of the jump animation. So I'm going to go down below. It should be somewhere here. Platform behavior. We're going to check it's on floor. So you always want to check if the player is on floor. And then want to add up whether it's jumping. So let's get into platform behavior. So right here in platform behavior is jumping. So go for this. But then you have to invert and change the it's on floor, because when you're jumping, you're not necessarily on floor. You cannot be jumping and be on the floor. So you want to set this to an invert condition and go for OK. So this is going to make sure it's jumping yes or right and it's not on floor. So now let's go ahead and change the animation. We'll get into sprite and change the animation from here. Change the animation. We want to change the animation of our player, which is new object 4. Modification sign equal to, so the animation is going to be that of it 2 and OK. So now what we want to do next is set our player to that of our player hitbox. That is very important. So we want to set the player to the player hitbox. So add action, and then right here we're going to set our player to the player hitbox. So I want to get into common actions for all objects, position, and then I'm going to drag down a little bit. So position of an object. So what I want to do is want to set our player. Let me change this to the player hitbox. So this should be equal to, so this is set to, you want to set the modification sign, the second one also to a set to. So this one we are going to be using new object 3. That's going to be for x into brackets minus 12. You want to do the same thing for the y position, but without the minus 12. Object 3 x into bracket. Okay, so this one x, this and y. Almost forgot. So this is done, and then go for that of OK. So now we have everything working right here. It's time to run it up. So let's run the game. Okay, so it seems the player is stuck down there. We'll have to fix a few things. I'm going to get this height reduced a little bit to a 99, and then I want to hide the player hitbox. So I'm going to add a new empty event, drag this on top, and then right here at the add condition, I'm going to type in the search panel at the beginning. So okay, right here at the beginning. At the beginning of the scene, I want to hide. So I'm going to hide this. Hide. New object 4. Okay, so I'm going to hide this. Then I'm going to duplicate the platform. Rename this as object, 4. Okay, there's already object 4. So I rename this to object 5. And I'm going to drag this to the screen right here. Then I'm going to resize this to 100. Let me set this to 15 width. Then the height is going to be 70. And then check custom size. So I have something right here. So this is going to act as the wall. I'll be duplicating that. Okay, so this is a wall. Okay, so let me add a few of this. Okay, so I'm adding this one up. Let me see. Okay, it's 467 y-axis, 467. So you want to make sure they are in alignment. 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 3, 6. That's what I mean. Okay. So you can choose to increase the wall as you would like. But for now, you're setting it as something very short. And you should know as you increase the wall, it's going to, that means it's going to jump high, increase the jump off the player hitbox. So now let's check it out. Okay. I did the opposite rather. Let me hide this. Yeah, object 3, not 4. Okay. So now we have the character bar. Everything is working. The jump is working properly. But if you're paying attention right here, the character is somehow falling deep into the platform. So we want to fix the error. It's falling deep into the, and I do not like it. So I'm going to change this and fix that error. Okay. The error is right. New object.x. That's why. The object. So let's see. Position. Okay. So this should be working a little bit. Should be working. I'm going to run it again. Okay, so now it's working. You can tell the jump animation is working when it jumps over the wall. So you have it right here working. Everything is working properly. As you've seen, that is how to create a GDevelop player which is able to jump over a wall. So if you're looking to create your game and have your player to jump over a wall, this is how to go about it. I hope this tutorial helped you out, though. Thank you very much for watching. I decided to go live for the first time. I mean, I've never been in live before, so I said, okay, why not try it out? I'm going to edit the video up and then I'm going to release it probably by tomorrow. So thank you very much for being live on this platform with me, and keep creating game devs. Arigato.